Hello and welcome to Love Your English. We are in step number 12. Now we are dealing with the written section, and that means that you are really close to the ending of the unit. So you are about to get to the point where you have to discuss about all the information you found. So just a couple of more exercises and you will finish. Let's go with this one. Let's go with the ring, which is about two real champions. Remember that one of the goals you have is talking about important sportsmen or sportswomen that could be considered as examples to follow. Not because they are selfish or the typical football player who only care about money, no el típico jugador de fútbol que simplemente se preocupa del dinero. We have here two real champions. We have here Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer, two people that we can consider as example. So let's go together with the vocabulary and a little bit with the sense of the text. Vamos un poquito a las dos cosas a la vez con el vocabulario y el sentido del texto. And at the end, I will show you my comprehension about this text. So all the information I decided which is the most important and which is the information I would include in my oral exam. So let's go with it. On the beginning, we have like questions. Do we have good examples to follow in a sport? Are sportsmen and sportswomen selfish? Remember, a selfish person is a person who only cares about himself or herself. A person who never shares a thing. Una persona que no comparte nunca nada. So we have those questions that we have in our minds. It's true that the field of sports is full of these kind of people. El campo del deporte está lleno de este tipo de gente. But we have some examples to follow their steps, some people to follow their step. And we are referring to Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer. They both, if you read the text, si leíste el texto, por supuesto, they both have a very strong relation. They are like connected. We don't understand Rafa Nadal's career without Roger Federer's career. No se entiende la carrera de Rafa Nadal sino de Roger Federer, de acuerdo con el texto. Let's start with Rafa Nadal on the one hand. We have that the word since he was very young. He has been practicing tennis and sports since he was very young, desde. And one day, he decided to devote his life to the practice of tennis, dedicar su vida a la práctica del tenis. We know that Rafa is like a mixture, es como una mezcla, Rafa. He is admired for his technique, but also for his strength. Admirado por su técnica y también por su fuerza. Many people consider that he teaches us a lesson every time he jumps into the court. Do you remember court? Me imagino que recuerdas la palabra court, la cancha. No, da una lección cada vez que salta a la cancha. ¿Cuál es esa lección? What's that lesson? We know that talent is not the most important thing to succeed. El talento no es lo más importante para tener éxito. Dos palabras que aparecían en tu vocabulario. We need constant sacrifice, we need self-esteem, we need mind control, and Rafa represents all those qualities. He also tells us that giving up is never an option. Rendirse nunca es una opción. He had lots of injuries and he never gave up. Nunca se rindió. He never abandoned his goal. He never abandoned his intentions of winning games and winning tournaments and competitions. We have more expressions like achieve your goals, which is the one I have just used, like acabo de usar. And of course, to achieve your goals, you need to be humble. Necesitas ser humilde. Not to think about money and not to think about all that stuff we were mentioning at the beginning. And we have a final sentence that I think is very useful for you to include in your oral exam. Rafa represents the power of the will, el poder de la voluntad. On the other hand, Roger Federer, he is one of the most, and for some people, the most important and the best tennis player in history, because he has won lots of tournaments. No one has ever won more tournaments than Roger Federer, but he's keen on tennis, but also keen on learning. He's also interested in learning. We use the ing because we have a preposition before. He's keen on learning, and we see that, vemos eso, because he speaks 4 languages: English, German, Swiss German, and French. Here we have something which is important for people to remember. His career is related to Rafa Nadal's. That's what we were saying at the beginning, lo que decíamos al principio. Many people consider that both contribute to their greatness. Ambos contribuyen a su grandeza. Rafa makes Roger bigger and backwards. Backwards significa y de vuelta. Rafa hace que Roger sea más grande y al revés. Wards es un sufijo que indica camino hacia. Indica hacia. If I say, for example, I'm going southwards, significa que voy hacia el sur. If I say I'm moving backwards, significa que camino hacia atrás. Of course, that's the relation they had. So some people consider they can be like lone life enemies, but it's not like that. Once they step out of the court, una vez que salen de la cancha, they share a relationship of deep admiration. There is something I want you to remember, that if we are looking for examples of people that can be considered as examples to follow, we have to think about Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer. Of course, tennis is a sport that promotes this kind of values, this kind of personality behaviors. We can say that they are like 2 books that we can open looking for personal growth. 2 libros que podemos abrir si queremos buscar un crecimiento personal. I think with all these words and with all these sentences, you have a deep idea about the text. Con estas palabras y estas frases tienes una idea profunda del texto, y algo así sería lo que yo diría, cambiando algunas frases. Sabes que podemos coger las mismas frases que están en el texto porque nos sirven para usar elementos y estructuras que son ejemplos de algo que está bien hecho, pero yo cambiaría y pondría algo como lo que encontramos aquí en esta nota. This is my comprehension. Recuerda que esta es mi comprensión y por lo tanto una parte de mi examen oral. En algún momento de ese examen oral yo diría, of course, we have good examples of sportsmen and women from whom we can learn a lot. Por supuesto que tenemos ejemplos de deportistas, hombres y mujeres de los que podemos aprender un montón. I'm referring to Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer. Seguimos, y entiendes todo seguro. Both have devoted their lives to the practice of their favorite sport, tennis. Besides, they are considered as 2 of the most important players of all times. On the one hand, Rafa is admired all over the world for his technique as well as for his strength on the court. We learn from him that life and sport is not only about talent, but also about constant sacrifice, mind control, and self-esteem. Muchas de estas palabras están sacadas del texto, obviamente, de eso se trata, ¿vale? Pero hay un cambio, unas estructuras que te recuerdo que no es necesario hacer. Pero si te lanzas, mejor. Acabamos la comprensión hablando de Roger Federer y la relación entre ambos. On the other hand, Roger can also be considered as a good guy. He's not only keen on tennis, but also on learning languages and helping people through his foundation. If you remember, he used to give money to people. We could think that they are strong, long life enemies, but that's far from reality. Está muy lejos de la realidad, no son enemigos. They are both good friends and admire each other, so they are like books we can open looking for personal examples of personal growth. Y hasta aquí la corrección del texto about 2 real champions, que se relaciona con el objetivo de hablar sobre examples we can follow in the world of sports. So, good luck with the next steps and see you